Hey everyone, this is Landon with Prestige Custom Builders. I'm here with David with Bolivar Live, and again, we're doing this little two-part series about Bolivar Live, and we're doing it a little bit differently with me being over here on this side, David being on my side.
I'm the co-host now.
Yeah, kind of talking about interviewing David to kind of figure out like what Bolivar Live really is and how it came to be. Last week we talked about how it got started, from the conversation with Brad and Keith early on to just driving the beaches and seeing the views and seeing the clicks on the website. But one of the things that I really like about Bolivar Live is the access that you have to, I'm going to call it weather. I'm just going to leave it at weather because it could be tornadoes, hurricanes, cold fronts, water situations along the road. I feel like this is a great place to come to find out. I see people all the time asking on Facebook, like, are the roads open, or is this, or do we have power back? During those events, if you follow Bolivar Live on Facebook, you get all that information answered. You don't have to find Joe Blow in the community to respond back and then give some snarky comment back. No, just click on the Bolivar Live link and guess what? You're gonna find your up-to-date conditions. Let's put it as conditions, because I can tell you this morning I woke up and thumbing through my phone real quick, checking a couple of emails and different things like that, and saw your update at 4 o'clock this morning. You just got coffee and you're heading to High Island.
Yep.
And scan through parts that I wanted to see, listen to you about what the road situations were, because as I was heading down this morning, I needed to know whether or not there was something that I need to look out for. There's a lot of days where I come down here pulling trailers, or I've got guys coming down out of Beaumont, and they need to know, and so they kind of check on it as well. But give us some insight into how you get your weather information, how you get, you're in touch with TxDOT and Energy and all the higher ups within the state or the county as far as making decisions on what we're doing or what we're not doing. But then kind of give us an idea of what it looks like, because you called me the other day and said, hey, we can do these shows on Friday morning. We might be able to do them Thursday afternoon, but Thursday afternoon there's going to be some storms coming through here that have some predicted 50-mile-an-hour winds. So be careful, be on the lookout for that. Tie some stuff down if you need to. Give us a little idea into what that looks like.
Well, I'm going to go back a little further. It started with Harvey.
Okay.
Bolivar doesn't have a news TV.
No.
And so...
nor do we get mentioned most of the time. Most of the time it's either Beaumont or Galveston. And that's the closest you're going to get to news.
And I saw a need for it, but really didn't know how to approach it. And during Harvey, everything within 50 miles around us had 3 foot of water plus. But we were dry. Yeah. You just couldn't get here. You could get here by ferry, but coming down 124, and that's when it really started. And I started checking into weather, because, I may be out here, but when it comes down to it, man, I watch the weather.
Yeah.
Because I've been through Ike. And no matter what anyone says, if they say Ike didn't affect me and you had ties down here, they're flat out lying to you. And so in the process, I met Eric Graves, which was going to meteorology school and lived in Beaumont. And he's coached me a lot, because our businesses, even yours, revolves around the weather. Yeah. You have a good weekend, people get out, they decide they want to buy a house down here because they had a good weekend. And so it's all about weather. And so I got with Eric, and he's coached me through. But I still tell people on the feeds, I'm not a weather person, but we've since subscribed to 2 different programs. And that's what I was watching when I told you that, hey, 40 or 50 miles offshore at one point, they showed some 51-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Well, by the time it gets here, it could still be 30.
Yeah.
And so, I watch those. Typically, I don't watch them as much in the wintertime as I do in the summertime, but over the last couple weeks, even when I was at my mom's for Christmas, I was watching them because we had weather and stuff. And so that evolved in then getting with, TxDOT because of Highway 124 and getting a communication route with them. And everyone knows when it first started, that and with energy, we had some rough communications, getting information. And, energy's really, and TxDOT has really stepped up getting information out because they finally realized, hey, we've got someone that can get information out for us. And so, and it's taken some complaining from me and hammering from me, but it's really evolved. And I tell you what, in 2025, we're dialing some other things in. We've got a great relationship with Energy and TxDOT on getting information from them. Sometimes I was like, man, another update? But it's good because if it's changed much, we can get it out, and they know that. And sometimes they'll call me and say, hey, don't put this out yet, but we know you're trying to plan. This may happen.
Yeah.
And so, we've got a trust there. We've got a relationship there. And, they know when I say, hey, this road needs to be cleaned, it's not clean. They know that I'll send them a clip from it and say, look, this is what it is. And then from that, it evolved. And this year, we've been working with Brad Burness with Galveston County Office of Emergency Management to help them get word out. And it's all about communication and getting the word out to the people because our homeowners aren't here.
Well, and that's the other thing. It doesn't only affect the people on the peninsula. It affects the people off the peninsula who are looking to come down here because that can be a deal breaker for a rental or something like that. If, say, I'm living in Dallas and I can't get information about here, I may cancel my trip or I may drive all the way down here
and can't get on here.
And now all of a sudden I've got a bad taste in my mouth about, Bolivar, Crystal Beach area. That's not what we want. We want people down here. We want people involved in the community. That's what makes this whole area tick. And I think that, going back to, the updates and different things like that you're talking about, look, we can always Monday morning quarterback this thing, where, hey, you should have told us this, or you should have told us that, or you should have got us this update. I was in Colorado while the hurricane came through, or the tornado came through, excuse me, and, I'm getting energy updates every 4 hours, every 6 hours, something like it. It seemed like, and I was like, well, they may actually get power, and man, it seemed like they did a great job down there, like restoring power that quickly.
Unbelievable.
I saw the mess that was littered on the highway, and I'm going, oh boy, this is. I had a customer who was flying in from Colorado the day behind me, and I told him, I said, hey, we may need to put your meeting on hold and your trip on hold because I don't know that we're going to have any power. Like, I don't want you coming down if we don't have anywhere to to meet up, or it's going to be cold. Man, they got it back up and running. I was like, well, okay, they got it back up and running 3 days before he was coming down. So I was like, well, this worked out really well. Come on down. This worked out really well. So, so that's the weather side of things and how you kind of update that. And I cannot stress to people how important it is to kind of check on those things as a situation is going on, because
everything down here is weather.
Yeah, and I stayed during Burrell, and you and I were talking during Burrell as we were going up and down the highway of what was going on and what we saw and what was expected, and you were letting me know what was going on down in the Gilchrist area because I wasn't heading that way. I was checking on my jobs locally, and that whole situation, like, yeah, I was getting some more up-to-date information that was on Bolivar, but 2 hours later it was on Bolivar Live, and you want to know what's going on. You want to know how to get down here. You want to know what roads open, what roads not open. That's the place to go. I mean, it doesn't take but 2 or 3 minutes to go through the video and see what's going on. It's a great place. Like you said, we don't have someone who updates a weather station for us. We don't have a news center. This is the closest thing we have, and I think it's the best way for people to find out the information. Yeah, you can put it on Facebook, but I mean, how many Facebook posts do we have to see about, hey, is there power on? Is there power on? You know, I mean, like, just click on the link and you'll find out. But tell us what is coming up new. I know we're doing some different things. This is new for us, and I kind of actually enjoy it because, you know, I kind of find out some things that I don't know about Bolivar Live, but things that are coming up in 25, like what are you doing differently on the show?
That I can charge more for to press these custom builders.
Yeah, differently on the show, differently in the community, and then this is going to tie back into some of the stuff that we're going to talk about in another show with us, is what 25 is going to look like moving forward.
Well, real quick, you know, we started Bolivar Live TV.
Yeah.
And that's on Roku and Amazon Fire. And once Bolivar Live got going, we'll backtrack a little bit. There's a different clientele, and we saw it during the pandemic. People don't have time to watch a show on TV like they used to, like when you and I were growing up. And so everything's streaming now. I mean, during the pandemic, the streaming on demand just skyrocketed.
Well, we're look at the fast food restaurants, for Christ's sakes. Like, I mean, we want things as fast as we can, and then we complain about the fast food restaurant not being fast enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, same concept.
And so I was talking to Keith and some other people, and I started doing some research when an ad popped up, or an email was sent to me talking about streaming and how much it grew. And what I saw was it's a different clientele. We have typically an older group of people that buy houses and do that down here. But you have to replace those at some point because they get older, they move off. And so the streaming I thought was the answer to that. And we really haven't done a lot with it. We put all our shows on it. But what I've found is it's bringing in a different client, different person, a different age group goes to that. It's a younger age group. And so we're going to do some more with the Bolivar Live TV on Roku, because now we're working with our developer. And now if you go to Roku, like the website, a lot of people go to the website, sign in, and they can look up a show and watch it on their computer. Now our shows actually SEO on there. Yeah. So if they type in Texas Beach Vacation, one of our shows will pop up, and that's how a lot of people I've talked to that found us, and we've had people actually that have come in and said, we moved down here because we wanted to move to a beach town. Yeah. We found one of your shows, and so that's going to grow. We're expanding over to Galveston. We're doing Galveston Live over there, and it's not to take away from either place, because we have things they don't have and they have things we don't have. And vacationers, if they come down here for a week, they make one trip to Galveston. I can guarantee you probably 95% of them go to Galveston for one day. And so it's going to complement each other. We have the beach you can drive on. You know, our houses are typically less expensive over here, still big, nice houses. And then they have some shopping. They can do shopping over here, but they have more of a assortment of shopping and different things over there. And so that's one thing. And then we mentioned it, I think in the last show or earlier, what we're doing with the Sheriff's Department. Yeah. We've got some shows we're going to record with the new Sheriff, Jimmy, here in the coming weeks.
I'm really interested to hear that one after his comments in the papers last week.
And you know, we have to work with all of them. It doesn't matter who's elected, whether it's the GCOEM or the sheriff or the city mayor over there. It doesn't matter who's elected. We have to work with them. And so, you know,
I think it's another great way, again, to get the information out over here to Bolivar, you know, Peninsula, and the clientele that we have over here about what the Galveston County Sheriff is talking about over here. and what he brings is he's new. I mean, like he's going to have different things of ways of doing things. So
Right.
it'd be interesting to see what all's going on with that.
happens. And then the our emergency services,
Yeah.
Doug Sanders, him and I have always talked quite a bit. But he's gotten me involved, and I've been talking to Kate with the ESD board to cover more of what the ambulance, what kind of medical service we have down here. And so we're going to be doing some more stuff on that, just trying to keep more informative. And at some point, we hope to get it to where we've got enough shows that Bolivar Live TV will actually be a 12-hour or 18-hour a day where they can turn it on, and there'll be reruns just like every channel has, but then a new show pops in, and we've got a great group of advertisers. We cover everything on Bolivar Live. We've got RV parks and home builders, y'all. We've got realtors, we've got the big store, we've got Stingery, we've got Jose, and so we can cover everything there. And when it comes to weather, all of them know that at any time a show dedicated to them, like you and I do, may be canceled or moved to the next week because we want to get weather out. We did it during Burl. We took all the shows down for the week, and we started actually Sunday afternoon covering Burl, and then covered it all week, letting people know about it. I love it, but once again, it's because of the businesses down here.
Yeah.
I mean, everything revolves around them. And, I get hot-headed sometimes, and there's some people that don't like me, but, man, you're going to have that in any business.
Well, and it's one of those deals of, from a business standpoint, they may not like you personally, or they may have a problem with you personally, or whatever. And I'm the same way. But you can't say anything bad about my business because business is business, right? And you do a good job, and you take care of things, and you keep people up to date. Like you may not like that you're driving around in a wrapped Bolivar Live truck. Well, I mean,
but that wrapped Bolivar Live truck, and my theory on that is when I drive to my mom's in Austin, there's not one time that I've made a trip to Austin that either I don't get someone honking at me on I-10 or 290 and wave because they know about it, or they'll send me a message and they'll show my picture at Buc-ee's or somewhere in Austin and stuff. And that's what it's about, informing people about Bolivar.
That's exactly right. That's what I was going to say is like the wrap Bolivar Live truck, you may not like it because it doesn't have your advertising on it, or you may want to do something different or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it's about Bolivar.
Right.
It's about Crystal Beach. It's about our community down here and what we can do to make this place a better place. And I think at the end of the day, that is one of the things that I see that whenever you're doing things, whether it be the Finding Bolivar, whether it be with the Crab Festival, whether it be with the storms, whether it be with whatever it is, it goes back to Bolivar. And
27 miles.
The whole thing.
By 2.5 miles wide at the widest point if the tide's not up.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, depends on which way the wind's blowing. So, but no, I think that's great, and I think that this was a very informative two-part deal to kind of let people know what Bolivar Live really is, how it started, what it stands for, and where we're going in the future with it. I know that we've been doing shows with you for a little over a year or 2 years, coming up on 2 years, or I'm not even sure.
2 years, I think, in March.
And if you go back and watch the first one, it was probably a guy that was probably like, like this when I was sitting over in that chair. But now we've flipped the roles around, and now I'm sitting over here like this in this chair. But it's one of those things of this has helped my business, this has helped my customers, and just to know, really. It kind of builds a little trust factor. I tell people all the time, like, I'm here just about every day. You want to find me, I'm pretty easy to find. You check me out at one of the local lumber yards. You can find me driving up and down 87 like a madman, or in one of the local restaurants. Like, you're going to find me down here one way or another. And it's one of those things of, I get people, hey, I saw you, how do I know your face? And, we do this, we're a builder down here. Oh, I saw you on Bolivar Live, Or we get a referral, like somebody called, we saw that you were doing subfloor repairs. Can you come over and take a look at our house? We had that earlier this week. They saw the show we did on here. And it's one of those things of,
That's how you and I met.
It's giving back to the community. No, 100%. I came up to you at Jose's and said, hey, I want to talk to you about this. I see you on this TV. I don't know what it is. Explain to me what it is. Like, let's figure this out. And we did. And here we are. So, David, I appreciate you giving some insight into what your business is, because I think that as much as we do about our businesses, and I'll use myself, as much as we talk about Prestige, it's also time to give back to those other businesses that we do business with, and kind of show really what's behind the scenes over here. And everybody sees you. We don't really see Anthony that much, but he's a huge part of it as well. And I think he does a great job.
The brains behind it, because I come up, I'm 61 years old. Anthony's 22, and I'll say, Anthony, how can we do this? Or I've been trying to do this, and then he'll Google and YouTube, and I Google and YouTube, but I don't get the results he does. And we've had some comments from one of my advertisers' wives and I let Anthony know, because when she tells me, hey, you've made some changes in the videos, the intro, this, and the color, the sound, well, that comes back to Anthony, because he's the one sitting over there with the headphones on, that's like, man, these guys, they're babbling. Come on, I got work to do. But he's there. He's the one that puts up the background. And we've got spreadsheets of all the shows and looking 2 weeks out and stuff. And I know sometimes he's ready to kill me or walk out. But when it comes down to it, I told him the other day, because we were having a conversation, I believe in him. Yeah. And Norma has made comments to him and stuff. And so, it's just not just me. It's the people, whoever's in the front. It's Anthony back here, and we've got 2 other people that we may be adding in the next 30 days. One to help with the front, another one with video stuff because of Galveston Live. So,
well, good deal. Well, we're going to wrap it up. This is Landon with Prestige Custom Builders, David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. God bless, and bye-bye.